Erev Tov. Good to be with you. And on this Wednesday evening, we missed folks. We weren't together on Saturday or Monday. Cantor Paul is still away. He'll be back over the weekend. So it's great to be with you. We'll start with just a song to bring us back how good and beautiful it is to be together. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Yes, it is good to be with each of you. Hi to Yvonne and Simon and the Fox fam and Nancy and Adele and anybody else who's with us on Facebook. Say hello so that we know that you're there with us, and then we can say hello to you and welcome you into our virtual community on this Wednesday evening. So I'm going to share a story on this Shabbat, on this evening. It's not Shabbat. I will share maybe a story on Shabbat, but that's not tonight. On this evening, I'm going to actually share the book with you. We've done it before. It's called The World Needs Beautiful Things. And so from the time he was a little boy, Betzalel loved to collect things. His eyes were drawn to shiny stones and colored strings, and even a bug if it had shiny, shimmering green wings. Betzalel brought each treasure home to his beautiful things box. Betzalel and the rest, went 2 pages for some reason. 1. Betzalel and the rest of the Israelites were slaves in Egypt. The taskmasters grew angry when Betzalel dropped bricks into the mud to pick up a scaly piece of skin shed by a snake. "Stop that," his friend shouted. "You'll get us in trouble. Besides, you don't need all those stone strings and bug wings." Betzalel just smiled. Each of these things is beautiful in its own way, and the world needs beautiful things. Betzalel never stopped searching for beauty and color. When his life felt gray, he took out his beautiful things box. He pressed smooth stones to his cheek and wrapped colorful strings around his finger, forgetting for a moment that he was a slave. One day, Betzalel heard amazing news. Pharaoh was allowing the slaves to go free, but they would need to leave Egypt immediately. The Israelites hurried to pack for their journey. Betzalel's parents begged him to leave the beautiful things box behind. "We can only take what we can carry," said his father. "And what we absolutely need," said his mother. "You don't need all those stone strings and bug wings." But Betzalel insisted. Each of these things is beautiful in its own way, and the world needs beautiful things. Betzalel took his beautiful things box and walked with the Israelites to freedom. Betzalel saw many beautiful things as the Israelites left Egypt. The bright moon, full moon, lighting their path. Walls of water on either side of them as they crossed the Red Sea. Pillars of fire and cloud that guided them on their journey. These things were too big for the beautiful things box, so Betzalel tried to collect them in his mind. He also found many beautiful things that he could put in his beautiful things box. "Stop grabbing things out of the sand," moaned his parents. "You don't need more stone, strings, or bug wings." But Bezalel gripped his beautiful things box and kept walking. One day, God called Moses, the leader of the Israelites. I want you to build a Mishkan, a place for me to dwell when I visit the Israelites, God told Moses. It will be like a beautiful room in your house for a special guest. Moses was flustered. Where are we supposed to find what we need to build your house, God? We left Egypt with nothing, and we're in the middle of the desert. The Israelites can bring me gifts, God said, gold, silver, and copper, strings of blue, purple, and red, wool, oil, and spices. What if they don't have anything beautiful? Moses asked. Everyone can find something, God promised, if they know where to look. The Israelites surrounded Moses as he came down the mountain. What does God want? They asked. God wants us to build a house out of beautiful things, said Moses. There was silence. How could they build a house for God with only what they had carried out of Egypt? God suggested string. Does anyone have string to get us started? Asked Moses doubtfully. I have string, said a small voice. Everyone turned to look as Bezalel stepped forward, clutching his beautiful things box. I have red, blue, and purple. What color does God want? The Israelites' mouths hung open as Bezalel spread his treasures on the ground. I remember seeing trees with white flowers on the other side of the mountain, Bezalel added. Their trunks might be good for building. I saw twisty olive trees too. Then something strange happened. The Israelites began to see blossoms poking out of the prickly cacti and the twisty olive trees at the feet of forbidding mountains. They started their own beautiful things boxes and brought them to Bezalel. Moses ran to tell God, you were right. We found many beautiful things. God looked at Bezalel, who was arranging stones by color and shape. Bezalel, said God, you will design the Mishkan. Bezalel's heart pounded. Me? Yes, said God. You love beautiful things. You found them in Egypt. You found them in the desert. You will build my dwelling place because I love beautiful things too. So Bezalel described the beautiful image he saw in his mind, and together he and the other Israelites sketched his plans in the sand. Then they started building with the materials they collected: wood from the desert trees, animal skins dyed bright colors, and bits of metal from rings and belt buckles. And when the structure was complete, they wove tapestries, made lamps, crushed olives for oil, and mixed spices for incense. Bezalel smiled at the finished Mishkan. This is the biggest beautiful things box ever, he said. Now, every time God visits, there will be a beautiful place for God to dwell. The end. All right. So take a moment for anybody who'd like to say hello. Aurora, would you like to share something?
A few days on the first day of summer, it was my birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Aurora.
And we had a bounce house.
A bounce house?
Wow. Did you bounce in the bounce house?
Yeah, today.
Yeah. Did you bounce high in the bounce house?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So are you 6 years old?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really old. That's really nice. That's cool.
Ronan, you want to say hi?
Happy birthday, Aurora.
Thank you.
Hi, Ronan. What's
Ronan,
happening?
Were you bouncing in the bounce house too?
Nike. No.
You saying knock knock?
Who's
Who's there?
Babu.
Rabbi who?
Babu.
Rabbi who? Am I Rabbi who?
That's the punchline.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good to see you. Hi, Simon. How you feeling?
some other issues that I need to contend with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm busy buying a new t-shirt.
Drink tea, read books. Good. All right. Well,
Drink, read books and be happy.
okay. Well, Simon, we'll keep you in our prayers for good health.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to move into our Shema and Hashkivenu prayers. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. Vehamidenu Shomrenu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. 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 Amen, amen. Amen, amen. 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 Just a few announcements. We have our regular services on Friday evening. Both services this week are virtual, both our family service and our 7:30 service are online only. We will be honoring at our 7:30 service our retiring preschool director, Deborah Pruitt, for 32 years of service to Temple Beth Israel. And so please join us for that. Keep an eye out in your congregational emails for upcoming events. If you haven't yet turned in your pledge form for the new year, please do that. We'll be sending out in the next few weeks our High Holy Day information and packets out to people, and that will only go out to people for whom we've received information for the new year. I think that's all my announcements. Oh, say shalom, bimromav. Oh, say shalom, bimromav. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav Ose Shalom. Bimromav Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Huyase, huyase, huyase shalom. Aleinu. Erev Tov, everyone. Great to be with you again after a little hiatus, and we will see everybody on Shabbat.